can see one of the servants' quarters there to the left. Town areas in the 60s and 70s was not just due to the declining cotton market. It was also the long string of corrupt, do-nothing mayors we had in the mayor's office. It was rechartered. We elected a guy named Edward Hull Crump to the mayor's office. He's better known as E.H. Crump, but really best known as Boss Crump. One of the most notorious governors of the state of Tennessee throughout the power of the Crump machine. But even after the breakup of the Crump machine in the 1950s, people in Memphis still got very used to seeing the same old tired, corrupt names on the ballot, which is one of the many things in the city named for Boss Crump. Now, these days, we've got better leadership in the mayor's office. The change came, really, in 1976, when a notorious local character by the name of Prince Mongo decided to run for mayor. He also claims to be from the planet Zambodia. He ran for mayor promising to outlaw the wearing of the shoes within the city limits, to use taxpayer money to build a UFO landing strip and welcome center, attended all the official debates for the mayor's campaign wearing a loincloth and fur boots. Well, despite all these antics, when they counted up the votes after the election in 1976, Prince Mongo had come in a close third and received about 40,000 votes. It's about a third of all the votes cast. Politicians got the message loud and clear. And since then, we've had much more progressive leadership in the mayor's office, doing a lot to bring corporate and business interests in tours. In 1982, tourism has become a major industry here in this. There is not another major city within 200-mile radius of here, so we serve the medical needs of pretty much everybody in this region. Now, all of the red brick buildings you see here from right to left, in fact, all of these buildings around us here, this is all Methodist Hospital. Methodist Hospital is one of the 10 largest private hospitals in the world. And they have an international reputation as a medical research center, particularly for neurological research. Now, in the medical center area here, just a few square miles around us, you'll find 21. Now, this is where Elvis Presley's body was taken for preparation after his death in August of '77. This is also where Elvis's mother Gladys's funeral was held. Now, up ahead to the right, you see an enormous complex of tan-colored buildings. The letters BM. Baptist Memorial Hospital is the largest private hospital in the world. This is only one of 3 major facilities they have here in the city. The hospital here in the medical center area has 2,300 beds. The Baptist Hospital was Elvis Presley's hospital of choice. He kept a private room here, reserved at all times for the use of his family and friends. Was treated here 5 different times during his life, mainly for injuries. Led a very rambunctious lifestyle.
Was that the one where they had the silver paper at the window?
Which, the room?
The room, they had foil on the window, didn't they?
I believe so, yeah. Also had an orange shag carpeting. But it was also here at the Baptist Hospital that Elvis Presley was transported after he suffered a heart attack out in Graceland. This is where he was pronounced dead, August 16, 1977. You can see to your right where the emergency room entrance is located. That's where Elvis would have been transported. Now, on that night, thousands of people gathered on the lawn here in front of the hospital and stayed with his body overnight until it was taken down to the funeral home. They followed it down there and stayed overnight until the funeral at Graceland 3 days after his death. Meanwhile, close to 80,000 people were gathering in front of the Graceland mansion. Now, on a lighter note, this is the hospital where Elvis's daughter Lisa Marie was born 26 years ago. And on a really trivial note, this is the hospital where I was born. And we show you all the most important sites in the city. 97. We love our parkland here. In fact, this park and 5 others were laid out when the city was chartered back in 1819 and have all been maintained as parkland ever since. And at that time, this park was known as Winchester Park. It was named for it was named for one of our 3 founding fathers. They were named Overton, Winchester, and Jackson. Names that you'll see pop up all. General Forrest, known as the Wizard of the Horse, his cavalry tactics still taught at the West Point Military Academy. Now, this statue, though, has become a real source of controversy here in the city. The population of Memphis is about 60% black, and several black organizations have been lobbying hard to have the statue removed. Now, while everyone admits that General Forrest was a great general, in fact, he rose to the rank of general quicker than anyone in U.S. military history, well, he also made his fortune in the slave trade and was a founding member of the Ku Klux Klan. As you can imagine, this doesn't sit too well with a lot of people, and they like to see the statue removed. The reason it's still there is that it's not just a statue, it's a gravestone. General Forrest and his wife are buried underneath it. And as a gravesite, it is protected. But that's something that we here in the southern United States are still struggling with to a degree. We want to honor the brave dead of the Confederacy without particularly honoring the cause.